Ever had your passion laughed off as a joke? I'm Ava Thompson, 26, from Austin, Texas. Growing up, my parents treated my love for photography like a childish whim. They pinned all their hopes on my older brother, Ryan, their serious son, the future engineer. Ryan was the star, the one they bragged about at every family gathering. Me? They'd roll their eyes when I snapped photos saying, Ava, photography's not a career. Ryan's the real deal. I didn't resent Ryan. He was kind, even if he didn't get the favoritism. But my parents' mockery stung. When I showed them my portfolio at 15, Dad scoffed, Stop wasting time, Ava. You're not Ryan. Mom added, Get a real job. Their words hurt, but they sparked a fire, not to fight them, but to prove my passion was no joke. This story's got drama, a clever prank, and a revenge so sweet you'll cheer. Ready to see how I did it? Smash that like button, subscribe, and let's dive in. Our Austin home was a sprawling suburban house with a big porch where cicadas buzzed and sweet tea flowed. But for me, it felt like a place where my passion was a punchline. My parents, both software developers, valued practical careers. My brother Ryan, 20, was their ideal, tall with a buzz cut and a knack for math. He aced AP classes, won science fairs, and had a full ride to UT Austin for engineering. Dad would say, Ryan's our future. He'll build bridges. Mom kept a wall of his awards, from math Olympiads to debate medals. I was different. At 10, I found Dad's old Nikon in the garage and fell in love with photography. I'd capture sunsets, stray dogs, and Austin's murals, seeing stories in every frame. By 14, I was editing photos on free software, dreaming of a career behind the lens. But when I showed Mom my shots, she'd sigh. Cute, Ava, but Ryan's studying for the SATs. That's what counts. Dad was harsher. Photography's a hobby, not a job. You're not cut out for it. Their dismissal wasn't subtle. When I got a B in history, Dad said, Ryan never got below an A. When I joined the school's photography club, Mom suggested, why not coding like Ryan? At 15, I entered a local photo contest with a black and white shot of an Austin street performer. I won first place and a $500 prize featured in the Austin American Statesman. I ran home, waving the newspaper, thinking they'd finally see me. Dad glanced at it. Nice, Ava, but Ryan's at a robotics competition. That's real success. Mom added, Don't waste your prize on cameras. They framed Ryan's scholarship letter, but tossed my article aside. The worst came at 16. I'd been accepted to a summer photography program at the University of Texas with a partial scholarship. I'd also started an Instagram at Ava Snaps, posting my work and gaining 2,000 followers. I thought my parents would care. At dinner, I shared my news, hands shaking. Dad laughed. Photography's a joke, Ava. Ryan's at UT, building real skills. You'll never make it. Mom nodded. We can't support your fantasies. Ryan's our focus. My heart broke. They'd paid for Ryan's laptop and dorm, but wouldn't help me? I stood, voice trembling. I'll prove you wrong. I stormed to my room, slamming the door. That night, I scrolled Reddit's R raised by narcissists, reading stories of kids whose passions were mocked. One post hit hard. Their laughter's your fuel. Turn it into success. I grabbed my camera, whispering, This is no joke. Ryan's UT send-off party was the final straw. My parents threw a backyard bash with a Hook 'em Horns banner and a catered taco truck. Neighbors toasted Ryan's engineering future. I helped set up, but no one mentioned my contest win or Instagram. Standing by the cooler, I vowed, I'd get revenge so sweet, They'd eat their words. But it wasn't easy. At 17, I worked part-time at a camera shop, Shutterstop, to buy lenses and software. I'd shoot during breaks, capturing Austin's food trucks and live music. My Instagram grew to 5,000 followers, but every like felt like a secret my parents didn't value. Ryan came home for summer, and the house revolved around him. He was kind, saying, "Ava, your photos are awesome. Why don't mom and dad get it?" I shrugged, hiding my hurt. My breaking point came at 18. I'd saved $3,000 from Shutterstop and Instagram sponsorships to buy a professional camera. I'd also been offered a spot in a regional photography showcase, a big deal for young artists. At a family dinner, I announced my plan. I'm showcasing my photos and building a career. Dad scoffed. "You'll crash and burn, Ava. Ryan's interning at Tesla. That's winning." Mom added, "We won't bail you out when you fail." I felt gutted. That night, I applied for student loans, packed my camera, and moved into a shared apartment near UT. I was done begging for their respect. Reddit's r/photo critique became my lifeline. Feedback on my work gave me hope. One comment stuck. "Your passion's no joke. Make them see it." I taped it to my camera bag, vowing to turn their mockery into my victory. At 18, I moved into a cramped Austin apartment with two roommates, both art students like me. By day, I studied photography at UT, learning lighting and composition. By night, I worked at Shutterstop, selling tripods and saving every dime. My Instagram at Ava Snaps became my canvas. I posted vibrant shots of Austin's nightlife, food festivals, and street art, building a following of 10,000. Every photo, every edit was a step toward my sweet revenge. My parents barely called. When they did, it was about Ryan. "He's killing it at Tesla." I'd nod, hiding my progress, and share nothing about my work. My portfolio was growing. I shot for local bands, food trucks, and even a small fashion brand, earning $1,000 a month. But the grind was tough. My camera lens cracked, rent was tight, and I lived on instant noodles to afford Adobe subscriptions. At 20, a break came. A regional arts festival, Austin Art Wave, invited me to showcase my portfolio with a $10,000 prize and a chance to exhibit at a major gallery. It was my shot to go big. I spent weeks curating my collection, 50 photos blending Austin's grit and glamour, from neon-lit bars to quiet hill country dawns. To save money, I biked to shoots, my camera bag bouncing. My parents didn't know. They'd stopped asking about my joke. Art Wave was a whirlwind, galleries, live music, and thousands of art fans. I set up my booth, heart racing, with framed prints and a slideshow of my work. When my name was called as the winner, I nearly dropped my tripod. The $10,000 let me upgrade my gear, and the gallery, Blue Star Contemporary, offered a solo exhibit. My Instagram jumped to 50,000 followers, and I got emails. "Your photos capture Austin's soul." But doubt crept in. Every step felt shaky, like my parents' laughter could unravel it. For fun, I set a trap for my parents. Ryan followed my Instagram, so I knew they'd see my posts through him. I shared a fake photo of a blurry, awful shot, captioned, "Rough day. Maybe photography's not for me." Mom called within hours. "Ava, we told you it's a joke. Come home." I smirked, planning to reveal my success later. Ryan texted, suspicious, "Sis, you're up to something, right?" I sent a winking emoji. The real test came at 25. Blue Star Contemporary invited me to a national photography summit in New York, where I'd pitch my work to top agencies like Getty Images and Vogue. A deal could launch my career globally, but the pressure was crushing. Competitors had fancy studios and big budgets. My parents' words echoed, "You'll crash and burn." I sent my family invites to the summit with a cryptic note, "Join me in New York City, July 12th." I wanted them to see their joke in the spotlight. I threw myself into prep. I curated a new series, Heart of Austin, blending street photography with portraits of local heroes, baristas, musicians, activists. My team, two UT friends, a curator, and a designer, helped build a pitch deck. We rented a studio, maxing out my savings. Challenges hit hard. A print order was delayed, forcing me to scramble. I got negative comments online. Her work's overrated. One night, I found a Reddit post on r/photography. How do you handle haters? A reply stuck. Don't fight them. Outshine them. I taped it to my laptop, pushing forward. My team rallied, and we nailed the series. I stood in our studio, surrounded by prints, whispering, "This is my revenge." The New York Photography Summit was a high-stakes spectacle, sleek galleries, flashing lights, and industry giants in designer suits. My booth was vibrant, with Heart of Austin prints and a touchscreen showing my process. I wore a black dress and my favorite boots, camera around my neck, nerves buzzing. My team hustled beside me, handing out postcards of my work. My parents and Ryan arrived, looking out of place among the art crowd. Mom clutched her bag. Dad frowned at the abstract sculptures, and Ryan scanned the booths, confused. They hadn't connected my invite to this. I took a deep breath and stepped to the main stage for my pitch, the crowd swelling to thousands. "Hey, everyone," I said, voice steady despite my pounding heart. "I'm Ava Thompson, and Heart of Austin is my passion. It started in my bedroom, born from being told photography was a joke. Today, it's captured the soul of a city, with 100,000 Instagram followers and 1 million hearts." I clicked to a slideshow, gritty street shots, joyful portraits, Austin's pulse in every frame. The crowd leaned in. I shared stats, $200,000 in sales, features in Rolling Stone, and my vision. I want to tell the world stories, one photo at a time. Then I got personal. My parents called my passion a joke, betting on my brother. But this is my revenge, not anger, but proof. I glanced at my family. Mom's eyes were wet, Dad's jaw tight, Ryan's phone up, filming. The slideshow ended with a fan's quote, "Ava's photos make me feel alive. She's a visionary." The room erupted in applause. The judges announced, "For storytelling and impact, the winner is Ava Thompson." I won a $250,000 prize and a Getty Images contract. Cameras flashed as I accepted the award, tears streaming. Offstage, my family approached, faces raw. Mom hugged me, sobbing, "Ava, we were so wrong. We didn't see your talent." Dad, voice hoarse, said, "We thought we were protecting you, but you're a star. I'm sorry." Ryan grinned, holding a tiny photo. "I kept your first contest shot from when you were 15, he said, eyes misty. "You're incredible, sis." I laughed, hugging him, my prank forgotten. The twist hit me later. Their mockery wasn't hate. They feared I'd fail, blinded by their own view of success. But it fueled me to turn a joke into a legacy. My photos weren't just art. They were proof I was enough. Today, I'm a Getty Images photographer, shooting for Vogue and National Geographic with 1 million Instagram followers. My parents frame my magazine covers, and Ryan's my manager, booking my gigs. But the real win? Knowing my passion's no joke. I got the sweetest revenge by being me. If your passion's been mocked, hear this. Your dreams are your power. Shoot, create, fight. Turn their laughter into your victory. You're not a joke. You're a masterpiece. Thanks for seeing my story. If it moved you, smash that like button and subscribe. Comment. Who called your passion a joke, and how'd you prove them wrong? I'm reading every one. Share this with someone chasing a dream and hit that bell for more. Let's keep snapping our stories.